list. That does not miss. On episode 96 of Top Rope Reality, only 4 to go. And let's get started with part 4, the list. Top predictions.
Top 15.
Of the WWE.
Will look like
in 2020. In the year 2020. Which is not the right song.
It's not the right song.
We're
We're down to 5 more, so now we're at the top 10 right here.
We're at the top 10.
Daniel Bryan will retire. What?
Wow.
That's weird. It's like somebody predicted the future.
Yes, I know. Wow.
This says top 15 predictions on what WWE will look like in 2020. So we already know this has already happened, and we ain't even 2020 yet. Daniel Bryan is going to need one heck of a neck surgery if he ever wants to compete at a high level again. We see Bryan coming back for one more run. Did not happen. And being injured shortly after, effectively ending his in-ring career. Well, that did kind of happen when he came back to WrestleMania again.
Yeah, he did get hurt.
With that being said, his passion for the business will most likely keep him with the WWE in a different role, depending on his health. And I don't think that's happening right now. I think he's going to go make babies and maybe come back a little later on.
Yeah, maybe. Road agent.
Yeah. While an agent for the company would make the most sense, we see Bryan as more of an on-screen personality, capitalizing on his fan support. I don't think he'd want to do that.
I don't think this is comfortable. You look at Tough Enough, which
he wasn't comfortable.
It was hard to look at that, but he didn't seem too comfortable. I didn't feel like he was comfortable.
Nope, not at all. So the bold prediction in 2020, Daniel Bryan will be a full-time commentator of the WWE, similar to Macho Man Randy Savage in '93. I don't think it's going to happen. But we already know he already has retired.
You want to pick a bearded guy to be a commentator? Kevin Owens.
Yes.
I can see Kevin Owens being a commentator.
He'll be very good.
I can see Dolph Ziggler being.
But hopefully by 2020, he's still wrestling.
Hopefully he is too, but like I said, Daniel Bryan, I mean, he doesn't have like Punk. Because when Punk got into the commentating,
he was good.
It flowed. I don't know if Daniel would have that.
I think Daniel will be a good trainer in NXT.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Give his mind to other folks and say, hey, let's go this way.
Yes. He does not need to be on screen.
No,
he can help behind the scenes and be great.
I mean, I'm sorry he had to go, but we got to move on. He's moved on. We're moving on.
That's right. He's moved on with it.
So you want to do this prediction and anything about the story time?
Yeah, we'll do story time. We'll just go in order.
All right. Well, let's get out the big book for story time as it returns here to Top Rope Reality, the list that does not miss. And this time in the chapters, how many chapters? I forgot how many chapters there were.
It's quite a few.
Yeah, it's quite a few. It's going to be the ending.
Endings that screw great WWE storylines.
Yes.
And what should have happened. And in chapter 1, we have MizDow.
Oh, that was, yep.
So what happened? In August 2014, Damien Sandow was hired by The Miz to be his stunt double, basically taking beatings on behalf of the arrogant Hollywood star.
And it started to flow and people got behind him.
Through his hilarious ability to mimic Miz's every move, the newly renamed Damien MizDow became hugely popular with live audiences. The jealous Miz did everything he could to get the spotlight back on himself, routinely humiliating MizDow to the crowd's disdain. The fans were chomping at the bit, knowing that it was just a matter of time before MizDow would rise up and finally put the cocky Miz in his place. This is how it ended. The big moment came during the WrestleMania 31 Battle Royal, when MizDow finally snapped and eliminated Miz to a huge pop from the 76,000 plus crowd. MizDow himself, though, was eliminated seconds later by the eventual winner, The Big Show, aka Buzzkill. Throughout the following weeks on Raw, Miz and MizDow wrestled in forgettable matches before MizDow was pinned for the final time by The Miz, following interference from Summer Rae. Why? I don't remember. The feud was quietly dropped. MizDow returned to his Damien Sandow name, and his popularity completely fizzled out.
Yeah. Thank you, Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
Which people hate the Macho MizDow.
It wasn't as good as the MizDow.
It wasn't. No.
But this is how it should have ended. WWE had all the ingredients for a perfect feud. A sympathetic babyface, an arrogant heel, and a heated feud that the audience was invested in. Yes. If I was booking this one, I would have had Sandow win the Battle Royal.
It may not have meant nothing then, or now, but then it would have meant something.
Adding fuel to Miz's fire as the bitter, jealous villain, their feud could have spread over a series of high-profile matches with a blow-off in a steel cage at SummerSlam, in which Sandow would have gone over and not lost to The Miz.
Yeah.
And actually, the funny thing is, there was supposed to be a one-off thing. The Miz said in an interview it was supposed to be a one-off thing, and because The Miz was already pretending to be other people, dressing up as other people, doing Vince McMahon and other folks like that. So that was supposed to be just a one-off thing. It's a stunt because he didn't want to wrestle that week. And it got over so well, but then he was like, wait a second, he's a stunt double, but Miz was wrestling all the matches, and the stunt double was just hanging out on the outside instead of the stunt double actually doing the matches for him, which is funny.
It's funny. And I mean, it got over it. Like I said, would he, is he going to be around much longer?
I could see him going to TNA too. I had heard a rumor that he asked for his release.
It's like Zack Ryder. I'm over. But you didn't put me over. I got myself over.
Right.
And now we control you now. You're going to disappear. Yeah. And he's just disappeared. Yeah. I have no clue. I thought he was coming back after that Hogan thing where they couldn't be axing him. But he'd been perfect for the social outcast.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Can't tell you the last time I even seen his name anywhere on main events,
he
Superstars.
He was teaming up with Darren Young, remember?
Yeah.
That was the last time he did anything. He did a couple of tag team matches with Darren Young, which still doesn't make any sense.
That's the Royal Rumble, wasn't it? Was him and Darren at the Royal Rumble, or him and Darren at the Fastlane?
It was the match to get into the Royal Rumble, yeah.
Okay.
I think it was. Yeah, because Swagger
and
Mark
see
Henry.
How great that is for
Swagger and Mark
Damien?
Henry together.
Yeah, and we thought it was going to be the Dudleys getting in.
Weird.
Do you think you're right? Yeah, the Royal Rumble then. That's pretty safe. That is safe for Damien. I like Damien.
Yeah.
Heel or face, it works for him, but you got to get him out there, and he's not out there. When you have other people out there that you're like, what's he out here for?
Yep. It's pretty sad. But next we have predicting the next 10 WWE champions. So we've done 10, 9, 8, and 7. Now we're at number 6 is John Cena. Because we want him to, of course, get more than Ric Flair.
Get more, well, yes.
So Extreme Rules 2017, the night after WrestleMania, John Cena will address a confused but happy WWE Universe, claiming that he has let his emotions get the better of him after his loss to Roman Reigns. He'll apologize to the fans and then ask to meet with Reigns later in the night for forgiveness. Reigns will comply, and of course Cena will attack him once again. And AA, through the announcers table, will set up a no DQ title rematch at Extreme Rules. Despite the fact that Roman Reigns won the Battle of Generations at WrestleMania.
Oh, please tell me that's not going to be.
Cena's
33, folks! 33!
Battle of Generations. Cena's newly born heel character will need the WWE Championship for maximum impact.
Ooh.
That's like a UK tour name, ain't it?
It
is, really is. Cena and Reigns will have another hard-fought brawl, this time with Cena using every weapon on which he can get his hands. What? With Cena using every weapon on which he can get his hands. Should be weapons get his hands on. And ultimately, the former champion shortcuts, I was hoping you saw that too. I was like, what the heck? The former champion shortcuts will be too much for these top babyface to weather. Cena will take out the referee. Aww. After Reigns kicks out of an AA, Reigns will come back with a spear, then draw a submission from Cena using a chair-assisted STF. But with no referee to count it, it won't matter. Reigns will try to rouse up the referee, giving Cena the opportunity to grab the chair. He'll waffle Reigns with it repeatedly, not in the head though. Then
no. Shoulder
and back, gut, you know. Then pin him to becoming a record-setting 17.
Holy crap! 17 and 17. Wow,
that's crazy. It's like they wanted it to happen like that.
I know.
Now we have number 5. You have this is out of nowhere. This is kind of random.
But 17.
But it would make sense.
That's what you guys get.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the year of the demon. You know. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Finn Balor! Money in the Bank 2017. Though the idea of giving a heel John Cena the championship will be ultimately put the belt back on Reigns and make him once and for all the company's new top editors. Cena as a heel champion will lead to a mini boom in business. TV ratings and house show revenues will spike. And so the company will reconsider shuffling the belt back to Reigns. From a creative standpoint, there will be plenty of mileage in Cena as a heel, and it'll lead to some much-needed compelling TV.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, it would change things up.
It would change things up. And Money in the Bank Finn Balor, who will debut on TV this year and feud with Shinsuke Nakamura over the Intercontinental title, will take a leap into the main event. winning the ladder match to capture the Money in the Bank contract.
Oh, people will blow their minds.
They would. In the main event of the show, John Cena will turn back a challenge from Sami Zayn.
Oh! All right.
Only for Finn Balor to come out and challenge him after his match. Both men will be spit from their victories, but Balor will want to waste no time. He'll cash in his briefcase, dodge a clothesline from Cena, and immediately go to work on the champ. Cena will come back with right hands and whip Balor into the ropes, but the former NXT champion will rebound with a sling blade and then go up top, hit the coup de grace to win the title.
And people lose their minds.
They would lose their minds.
And hey, and that would be great because guess what? Cena did what he's supposed to do.
Put over somebody else.
Even this person, bless you.
Live!
Even this person knows that that Cena will draw better than Roman Reigns. Have you seen the movie Sisters?
No.
Oh, it's funny. Cena's in that too.
I know Cena's in that one. He came out, he was in 3 movies.
Cuss like a storm too.
Really? Oh, then he's going to fire him.
I know they got to. Don't watch the movie if you won't.
Don't watch the movie, it's not
No,
WWE first.
he gets the pass from his pass, man.
So, bi-weekly here, we have the 13 biggest WWE matches, well, the 13 biggest matches WWE should have booked in the 80s, but didn't.
Did not at all.
They never did it. This one was booked in WCW.
I love we're back in WCW. Hulk Hogan. Hogan.
But this didn't help WCW. You don't put this other guy in a main event. You just don't do it.
Brutus. Barber. Beefcake. Why did they put them together anyway for? I mean, in the 80s, was he still a heel? Yeah, he was still a heel in the 80s, yeah. I guess it would then. A guy, not really, because he was a tag team guy. I wouldn't put it together either. No!
They're buddies! Like, who cares? That's the only reason he got the main event at one of the pay-per-views. I mean, it was one of their big ones, like Starrcade or something, too. Ugh. Gosh. That irritates me. But anyway, here we go. This is WWE, not WCW talk.
Yes.
Later on, we'll talk about 13 biggest matches WCW should have never booked, but they did. And this will be one of them.
Yes.
Number 10, Hulk Hogan versus Brutus, the Barber, Beefcake, Triple B. Glad they didn't try that. You know, they did Triple H, but they didn't do Triple B. Good job.
But see, Brutus, the Barber, Beefcake wasn't bad.
That's true. Brutus Beefcake was better.
Beefcake.
Not the baby. Nope. So throughout the 80s, the WF often used the best friend portrayal angle in order to create new opponents for the immortal Hulk Hogan year after year.
After year. After year. Okay, yes.
In 1987, it was Andre the Giant. In 89, it was Randy Savage. Tugboat kept the trend going in 91. But without a main event blow-off match, and Sid capped off Hogan's first WWF run with the same angle in 92. In 1990, the company wisely decided to take a break from this storyline pattern and instead featured a face versus face Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior main event for WrestleMania 6. Hogan versus Mr. Perfect and Hogan versus Zeus served as alternative possibilities and backup plans. While the main event of WrestleMania 6 was much better than anything Hogan and Brother Brutus could have produced, these two could have started a program in '89 in between Hogan's feuds with Savage and with Warrior. The program could have resumed later in 1990 after Hogan dropped the title to Warrior, freeing Earthquake up to work with Warrior, and paid off the Hogan-Barber angle at SummerSlam 1990. Like him or not, the Barber was over in the 80s. And a match
but he was a good guy.
Good guy. And a match with Hogan would have kept him in the main event beyond SummerSlam 1989. Whether that would have been good for the long term or not is open for debate, but it probably would have been better than Zeus, bridging the gap between WrestleMania 5 and WrestleMania 6. They're saying it's a SummerSlam match, not a WrestleMania match, which is good, because WrestleMania would have been stupid. But how awesome would that have been, though? Hogan and Perfect.
At Mania?
Mania or SummerSlam.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have done the job, though.
He wouldn't have lost to Mr. Perfect.
But the bad thing about it, a heel barber, because a good guy barber, what's he do? He cuts the bad guy's hair.
Yes.
Well, a heel barber would have to cut the good guy's hair, and you can't cut much of Hogan's because he ain't had much.
Take his facial hair off.
Oh, that'd be a shot.
Oh,
shave it off.
Shave it off.
Barber, Brutus the Shaver, Beefcake.
That's right. You leave the hair here, but you take off the facial hair.
He looked really good. He looked really cool when he lost his mustache in WCW.
Oh, he looks so weird.
He did. And then say, we're not touching the precious golden locks of Hogan. You will fight a black guy named Loose.
Loose? I think it was Zeus.
It is Zeus.
Not loose. He may have been
Tiny
loose.
Lester, yes.
Yes, Tiny Lester.
Is that all?
That's true. Why are you going way back up there?
don't
Yes,
know.
that was everything.
That's everything? Wow, that was a quick week.
We went, through it, ladies and gentlemen.
Blew through
But
it.
next week on episode
Crap
9,
through a moose.
That's weird. The guy from Ring of Honor. Anyway, next week on episode...
Not that moose.
Oh, Lord, no. Next week on episode 97, we have ringside news. What's going to happen? We're going to get more information from old Mean Gene Okerlund about WrestleMania.
Hopefully, WrestleMania will be complete.
That would be great. Plus, we're going to do pay-per-view review on part 2, WrestleMania 28-29. Shorten them up a little bit.
Shorten them up. Yes.
Because apparently, it seems like WrestleMania is taking longer to get here than we thought.
It is. It's only 14 days away or something like that.
And then part 3, we'll talk about March Macho Madness Tournament as the first round continues with the next set of 16 people. So that'll be very interesting. And then Top Rope Reality Storytime Chapter 2 on part 4. And then we bring back our... sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. It's not really bi-weekly. It's just every now and then. This one is the Hall of Fame. Should be. Might be, but not at all. We'll talk about all 3 of those people. Plus predictions. We continue our predictions on
predicting the 2020 and the 2 more champions.
Yes. It's all about, we're
So
like predicting the future.
Who will take the title off Finn Balor? Yes. And who will take the title off the guy who took the title off Finn Balor?
We'll do 4 and 3 on 97.
That's it.
There you go. And then we'll continue talking about 2020.
Number 9 on 2020.
2020. So we got a lot coming up for 97, and of course I hope we have a lot to do on episode 100.
Yeah, I know.
We're our brains are trying to think for you guys. Their brains are hurting right now.
Yes,
trying to think of some stuff to do here.
We want to thank each and every one of you out there who watched and enjoys our show, because I know there's a few of you out there that has to enjoy it just as much as we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But come on back here next week for 97 as we continue on this more comedy path of wrestling.
Of course. And we get one step closer to episode 100.
Triple digits.
Triple. Not 3D. Not 3D.
No, not 3D. Triple digits. Was that John Cena?
Oh, they stole it from each other.
They did, because he does that and they do that. And
They both did the same thing.
it's weird.
The Dudleys did it first.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
John's only been doing it for 12 years.
Exactly. They've been doing it like 20. Because they old.
They are old. And the future tag team champions are going to change the belts back. Yes!
Yes, get the
Come on and get the titles.
Get them pennies and throw them out the window.
Yes. Oh, Lord. But I want to thank you again for watching. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm just a Kyle.
We'll see you next week for episode 97. Wow, almighty. It's amazing. Can't believe it. A lot of people out there can't believe it.
That's true.
We're going to go watch Walking Dead. And I only got 3 episodes left. 3 episodes!
3 episodes.
It's amazing.
It's kind of like what us are to episode 100, ain't it?
Yeah.
Weird!
It is.
That is strange. It's
But
like
there will be no death and no zombies over here, so.
But we may have some pictures of Walking Dead people.
Yes.
You know,
I mean,
to
come on,
get you
check
people
in
to
the throat,
watch.
Yes. And they like this. Okay.
After you chop me in the throat, start walking like a zombie.
Good.